Happy April, K-pop listeners. K-YOS is back. That's this podcast. I previously was going to start this podcast with an apology related to NCT Dream, but then I went back on how I felt 3 times, and I've come to a point where I no longer need to make an Ooh.
The thing is, you no longer need to make a public apology to the listeners, but you do still need to make an apology on record on the podcast to Azalea specifically for constantly talking about NCT Dream against her will.
I don't know how it's against her will. I don't know how it's against her will. Also, Azalea should be happy that I don't listen to NCT Dream when I'm on the phone with her anymore.
Anymore. Operative word. Anymore.
I haven't since Hot Sauce.
No fact check? I'm surprised at that.
Well, that's...
Oh, no, you said Dream.
Just,
I'm sorry. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, NCT is still fair game. But I thought I was going to apologize because I said I liked Smoothie, and then I think maybe either a day after recording or a day after the podcast went live, I did go to Lotus and Azalea and say, oof, yeah, no, can't stand this song. But I was wrong. It's fine. I like it. But that's K-pop for you. And with this episode, we're officially 1/4 of our way through 2024's K-pop. So now is not the time to be fickle with music.
Is the whole podcast not being fickle with music? Like, I hate to break this to you, Best, but I do think it's the point of the program.
We no longer have the space to be fickle and flippant about Korean pop music.
Are you in the headspace to be fickle about Korean pop music right now?
No.
Well, so nice of you to listen this month, everybody. We'll see you next time.
The episode's just over. There's no reason to keep going.
You can't say that and then continue to frivolously talk about K-pop every month on a podcast.
Frivolous fickle. This month, I think when we started K-YOS as a monthly thing, was it last year? We were very specific that this is not a news podcast. We do not discuss the news, the updates, the gossip inside of K-pop. And that was for a good reason, I think. I think for our sanity and yours, we made that choice.
We left ourselves space to where we can, but, like, we're not reporting on stuff.
Yes. And so, however many months later, we actually have a little bit of news to talk about, although it's still not reporting on anything. It's just kind of discussing viral events that happened in April, some of them.
Mm-hmm. Things that would be strange to omit from a podcast about K-pop, frankly.
Right, because the conversation got big enough. Mm-hmm. So, starting with Sserafim at Coachella. Just the background, a little bit of background info. Sserafim went to Coachella. They had a main stage performance where they did a few songs and they sang live. And I think they did 2 shows at Coachella. They may have performed both weekends or like both days of one weekend. But regardless, one of the days they did not do too good in terms of singing vocal quality.
Yeah, that was the big complaint.
Yeah. And so then it, launched a frankly ridiculous, I don't want to say it was a hate train, because, like, when it comes to, like, a celebrity in a group like that, like, hate train doesn't sound quite accurate, but just a lot of discussion and a lot of meanness about Sserafim's performances. The members of the group lost a lot of followers following it. And then it brought up...
the weirder part of it.
I agree. I don't...
It's just a strange reaction, inherently, but... We're not teenagers on Instagram, so I don't know.
That may be the key.
That might be the key.
I just finding out, it's kind of like, it's similar to the reaction that people had when Ashley Simpson, Jessica Simpson's sister. This is like when Ashley Simpson in the early 2000s was performing live and they found out that she lip synced, and the reaction was wild.
Oh yeah, remember when that was a big drama? The thing is, I don't really know that drama as well as I know the drama of people finding out that Britney Spears was lip syncing all the time.
Okay, yeah, like I have same situation. If you want to go even farther back, Milli Vanilli. I have not seen like this kind of reaction to a live performance in a while, to where it did shock me that people were unfollowing. But beyond that, I don't know. I have a couple of opinions, I think, on this.
I'd love to hear.
One, I don't think Le Sserafim has ever been a particularly strong group performance-wise. Chaewon and Yujin.
Performance-wise or vocal performance specifically?
Okay, let's just say vocal performance. Let's stick it.
I do generally like how they dance, but I couldn't give a fuck about their vocals at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, like, Yujin and Chaewon are pretty good singers, but, like, regardless, I've never gone to a Le Sserafim track for the vocals. And so it was strange that was such a highlighted thing. They were performing outside on a soundstage with a lot of wind. They were dancing harder than they usually dance. They tried to do, like, they tried to get a little bit of crowd interaction. Like, I just don't care that they missed notes and sounded flat or hoarse throughout the performance.
You know, I think if you're like a huge Le Sserafim fan and you went specifically to see them, I can completely understand being like disappointed. But I think you and I both know that the majority of the criticism is not coming from people who are Le Sserafim fans. It's just like netizens who are being given a fairly good excuse to be mad at women again, and they take it. And obviously, if you listen to the last episode of this fucking podcast, you know we don't really like Le Sserafim at all. But it was an outsized reaction. Just ludicrously negative for what it is.
Yeah, and then, like, it created this entire wave of people then, still with girl groups, talking about encore stages on, like, music shows in Korea, and how encore stages are proof that groups cannot sing and therefore do not deserve to be groups and receive recognition. I think it's a little bit strange that most of the groups mentioned were girl groups with young women and girls and teenagers in them. It's one of those things where a lot of K-pop standum is rooted in misogyny. We know that. It's just an extension of that, and it became a conversation that was so unnecessary. I think Sakura ended up like posting this like really long thing on Weverse about the performance. It's just ugliness.
It's just ugliness at the end of the day. A lot of standum, I mean, a lot of everything in the world, not to get political, a lot of everything is about misogyny, especially fandom stuff, and especially one of the more misogynistic, conservative, like, quote-unquote first world countries in, South Korea. But the other thing about stand-up too is it's so much about the supposed moral purity of how you stand things. Like, no. It's I am right because my group is objectively better. And this is why. And then I parade around my little clip of NMIXX Girly singing while she's hopping around on the stage. Because it proves that my group is better than your group. And so I'm better than you, and I've made better decisions than you.
Right. A lot of fandom isn't really about the groups that people like. It's more about how other groups don't stack up to them.
Yeah, it's a lot about justifying your hyperfixation beyond being an interest.
Yep.
It's not cute.
It's not cute. It's very strange. It's music at the end of the day. Music with a lot of, like, added content, but it's music.
Yeah, and also, I think we've talked about this on the pod before. fully pro lip syncing. I don't give a shit. If you're a group,
Yeah.
especially a group like Le Sserafim, I would even throw someone like TXT in here where like they can sing. Especially TXT has some pretty strong vocalists, but I don't like TXT because they can sing. Them being able to sing is a bonus. And so like if I wanted to see them live, I'm going for the performance aspect. I'm going for the visuals. I'm going to see them like laughing and messing around with each other. And then like maybe I would want 1 or 2 songs where they just stand still and give a full live vocal performance. But other than that, I do not give a shit. Le Sserafim is the same way. I don't need to hear them sing literally at all ever. I just want to see them dance. And again, with like the purity of your group and why your group is better, a lot of people cannot accept that your group should have one particular thing that they are really good at, and then everything else, if they're just okay, that's completely fine. Like, not everybody is an ace, ever, and an entire group shouldn't be an ace. There should be some amount of cohesion and focus. TXT is an extraordinarily vibes-based group. That's why that they can just jump between different genres, like, for no reason, just because they feel like it. Is as long as they preserve a level of vibiness, not even the same vibe, it's still TXT. As long as the Sserafim dance their asses off, they're still the Sserafim. There's really nothing else that's like Le Sserafim is the definition of professionals dancing professionally and performing professionally, and that is it.
The only thing that they have to stick at this point is their whole cool girl persona. That's really all they show up for.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fine with it. I mean, I didn't care either way, but if I did have to care, I'm cool.
Mm-hmm. It's the inverse of kind of a lesser incident when Stacy was in their first year or so of debut, and people were making fun of them for not being able to dance, and then they had like one stage where they were very clearly full live unfiltered vocals, so there were like a couple of slightly flat notes because that's what real vocals sound like. And it's like, I want that because I like Stacy because they're good singers. I don't care if they can dance. I don't even want to see them dance, really. Like, Poppy is fine. Poppy's as far as I want it to go. It's an easy dance to do, so I could do it, and that's fun. But I really just want to hear their, like, raw live vocals, which does include, like, the occasional flat or miss note mixed in among all the good singing, because that's what a actual voice sounds like. It's almost as if maybe the auto-tune has gotten to people.
Again,
the multiple takes has gotten to people.
People want the performance of K-pop, but then when they get it, I don't know.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. That's what the Le Sserafim conversation was. Moving on to our second bit of news. The Met Gala happened, as it always does. And the Stray Kids showed up. Each and every one of them, actually. They showed up in long black coats that were clearly for a reveal
navy.
Based on... Oh, they were navy.
Sorry.
Navy?
I have to be a stickler because this is Tommy Hilfiger, so of course they were navy. They had to be
Oh,
navy.
was it? Okay, then yeah. So they showed up in their coats that were...
like how, once I say it's Tommy Hilfiger, you're like, okay, no, I completely understand. I'm so sorry.
Well, yeah, that's context. Now
I know, it's just funny. As if I wasn't being pedantic, you immediately said, perfect, got you.
Well, I do know you, Lotus. They showed up in their coats. Tommy Hilfiger?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oof.
Whoa. What does that mean?
I just don't like Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. It's a little pedestrian at times, but maybe that's the point. Tommy Hilfiger at a fucking Macy's.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. The point that I was making. They showed up in their coats that were clearly meant to cover something up. The coat was not the outfit. And then they took off the coats in a rather messy reveal, if you ask me.
It was clumsy, for sure.
A perhaps reveal that you should have practiced a little bit more, kids. To reveal their suits underneath, which I thought were lackluster.
They were mostly lackluster, yeah. A lot of the huge problem, and this is generally a problem with suiting, especially red carpet suiting, which does include the Met Gala, it does have a red carpet, is that the details on those suits are beautiful. I watched Vogue put out a video where it was Stray Kids going in for, I think, their final fitting, or maybe it was the day of the Met Gala, with Tommy Hilfiger, like in the Tommy Hilfiger atelier. And you get to see a lot of the outfits up close, especially Felix's is just like stunningly beautiful. It doesn't read on a carpet. Good. No. It doesn't read on a carpet at all. Ever.
Yep.
So it's just like an inherent problem with it. It was a rough first Met Gala showing for a lot of reasons. I do kind of feel bad for them.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I mean, oh gosh, where do you even start? Because there's like two major things, I think, right? Which is, number one, the reporters or the red carpet cameramen were really fucking racist to them.
Yes.
Like even here, because here's the thing. If this was a different fashion event in Paris or perhaps in Milan, Italy, I wouldn't be surprised at the level of racism. It was a shocking level of racism for New York City, I have to be honest. It was very strange to begin with, because it's also like, it's not like there's never been people of color or specifically Asian people at the Met Gala before. I believe they're the I don't want to be wrong about this, but I really can't remember any other time that a full K-pop group has attended ever. I'm pretty sure that Jennie's been, I think, twice. I don't know how many other people. I think Rosé's been once or twice, but I can't really think of any full group, and I can't think of a lot of K-pop men who have been, although I do believe there have been other attendees. So that was annoying. Obviously, the members could hear all of these weird comments being made, including comments in fucking Japanese. Yipes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was an uncomfortable experience being on that carpet, having a limited amount of time. Also, there's kind of this, I don't want to get too pretentious, but I have no idea how else to explain this concept. It's only adjacent to this, so this is all I can think of to explain it. Have you heard the term the glass cliff, Danny?
Maybe. So go ahead and explain it.
Okay, so the glass ceiling is like this older feminist term basically saying that women are invisibly gated from positions of power because misogyny, right?
Mm-hmm.
The glass cliff is like an associated idea where a woman will be promoted to a position of power, but only if the thing that she's in charge of is barreling towards failure, so that she takes the fall for it, basically, right?
Got it.
And so this is like vaguely adjacent to this, where this year in particular, a lot of people were missing from the Met Gala who normally go. Like, one really huge omission is obviously Taylor Swift, who's on tour right now. But there's like a litany of other people who normally would be big presences at the Met Gala that aren't there. So there's that. Number two, Stray Kids are probably the most popular K-pop group in the world of fashion. Like, Jennie's up there, but really just as Jennie, not as Blackpink. Like all four members of Blackpink, they're well liked, but not as a group, just as individual ambassadors. There's plenty of other ambassadors in K-pop. Obviously, there's BTS, who are like LVMH's besties. They're proteges, who I'm sure they'll come back whenever they come back. But right now, it's really just Stray Kids. Met Gala also looking pretty unpopular this year. For a few different reasons. Number one, there was a $25,000 price hike for tickets. Number two, there is kind of a genocide going on in Gaza, where
There's a couple of them going on.
There's a couple. Yeah, that's a good point. Jesus,
you've got a few going on right now.
There are in fact a few going on, and even though the Met Gala is technically a fundraiser for the arts, like, nobody sees it as that. Like, it's not as if the Metropolitan Museum of Art has had problems funding any part of it, but especially not the costume department for the last 20 years, at least 15 years. So it's just icky. And like, there's 8 members of Stray Kids. I guess for anyone who doesn't know, the Met Gala, you can be invited to attend, but you still have to pay to go. That's not including the price of travel. That's not including the price of their clothing, which, to be fair, they may or may not have had to pay for, just based on like how red carpets go. They might have been made for them and technically loaned to them, yada yada. But it's impossible to enjoy the Met Gala, and I could not stop thinking about it, especially because there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
So I think it was just an ugly night. It was not a fun night for the Stray Kids.
No, for a multitude of reasons. And I can't imagine too many other K-pop groups showing up to the Met Gala, not just because of this, the Stray Kids, how they were treated, but just in general. I don't think it's a conducive event for a K-pop group.
No, yeah, like going along with the kind of glass cliff thing is that the Met Gala enjoyed its peak popularity probably between like I would guesstimate like 2018 to 2022, especially during the pandemic years, where like was it kind of obnoxious to see people partying and stuff in these opulent gowns while people are dying because COVID? Yes, but it was also kind of cathartic, and it was cool to like be able to watch something online with everybody as opposed to like having to attend something in person. So it had that going for it. It doesn't have that going for it anymore. It feels like it's getting less popular. It's becoming less of a thing to watch. Like I'm sure I did see plenty of people talking about it and talking about the costumes like always, but it does not have the same impact or the same like drama. And it feels like, Stray Kids are, it's Anna Wintour, let's be honest. Stray Kids are absolutely being used for their popularity. Everybody at the Met Gala gets used for their popularity. But it was particularly prevalent with them. I wish they hadn't gone, frankly. I wish they hadn't gone.
Yeah.
I wish they'd had a few rest days or anything else.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like, I know afterwards, Bangchan, either on like, what is that, Bubble or somewhere.
Yeah, on Bubble. He was like, oh yeah, we were treated so well. Loved it.
Uh-huh. So
Which is funny.
Yeah, it probably would have been best if they hadn't showed up. They could have had a good rest instead of flying to New York.
JYP takes some fucking notes. I swear.
JYP has some of the strangest public relations media people.
Obviously, I would have rather that they just hadn't gone. It was a terrible night from like every angle, but I can't understand if they felt compelled to go because they're Tommy Hilfiger ambassadors. Hyunjin has a bunch of fashion connections where like he's the Versace ambassador. So they might have had some amount of business obligation. And if not business obligation, then societal, social upstanding pressure to go. So I get it.
And like
it's lame at this point. And it's kind of a bad look, which is a shame because it's the first time they got invited. Like it's just a fucking mess. And so I feel bad. I feel bad for them.
And like in a post-racial world, this would have been a very good opportunity for them.
Okay.
No.
I guess so.
But I guess that could apply to almost anything anybody ever does, huh?
Yeah.
What do you really think about it?
What do you think about it?
In a post-racial world, this could be a good thing.
All right.
All right. Let's move on to talking about the songs that came out in the month of April. Starting off fresh on April Fool's Day was Babymonster. Was Babymonster with their official debut single Sheesh. And I believe if you're a Babymonster fan, I do believe that one member was on hiatus of Babymonster, and I do believe for their pre-debut things, and I believe that with this official debut, that member who was gone is back. Yes. And that's why it was Babymonster with the 7.
With the 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll say it. This song starts like it could be something new from YG. I think the first
almost, yeah.
And then like around 32-ish, 30 to 40 seconds, somewhere in there, you hear a rose-ass note and then a Blackpink-ass chorus comes in and you know exactly what you're listening to.
I'm so fucking sick of YG, dude. Like, it's something that you would always notice, at least a little bit. But I think the second that Bona Bona by Treasure came out, I was like, this is straight up how you like that. We said this on the podcast. We were like, isn't this just how you like that? Like almost verbatim. Mm-hmm. And man, it is so hard to debut a new girl group. And you decide to make Blackpink, but with 7 people. Mm-hmm. Are you out of your fucking mind? Because this is like nothing against the group itself as a concept. It is just, what if Blackpink were younger and there was more of them?
Yeah. Like, it's so hard for me to wrap my head around a couple of things. One, that YG used to be the big four group, or I think at that time it was only big three.
It was still the big three, yeah.
It was still big three. YG was
Ain't that
in
something?
there. And now, that's the first thing that I have trouble with. Despite the fact that my start into K-pop, I was a heavy YG stan.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you can't always fully trust how a K-pop singer sounds when they sing, because a lot of it isn't their natural talent or their natural voice. It's training and vocal coaches and people saying sing like this.
Mm-hmm.
You see it like in Twice with Momo. Like, that's the big example, how she often gets very nasally parts in Twice songs because that's the role they want her to fill, as opposed to her voice, which isn't as nasally. With YG, oh my God, the nasality that they have their singers sing with is mind-boggling. It sounds so bad in most situations and coming out of most mouths.
Yeah, it's a bummer, because I have to say, we know that YG don't know how to do nothing. So I couldn't even be excited. Like, I couldn't even be excited to get set up to be disappointed. I was already disappointed before the group had come out, which isn't fair to them, but it was correct, which is the worst part. I wish I had been pleasantly surprised, but it is a classic, like, annoying, loud, brassy Blackpink song, which could be fun. But this is not Blackpink, and it's worse because it's from the same company. It's not even like some random small company trying to bite their style. It's the same fucking company.
It's just the
What's
same.
What's the concept? What's the sound? Where is any of the originality with Babymonster? Just completely kneecapping your own brand new fucking group, which you don't have that many of, and the ones that you do have, you have completely fucked up. Especially someone like Treasure. They've re-debuted like twice now. It's curtains. I hate it here.
It's over. And like, the thing is, it's taken YG, news of a YG girl group were circulating before 2020 even hit.
Yeah.
This has been such a long time in the making, and it's just so unfortunate that YG does not do anything different. It's so unfortunate that they have to still have Teddy out here making music for them.
I don't think he's even credited on this song.
Jesus Christ, that's even worse.
Unless I might be wrong, because I do know that, it's possible that Teddy is just credited as YG, but I don't see a Teddy credit on the Genius song.
That's even worse, I think. I think that's even worse, that you can't even chalk it up to like producer.
Teddy don't know how to do nothing else.
Or just like producer style. It's just
right, yeah.
YG.
It's not like they chose Teddy and were like, make it this way, or like they chose him because of the sound. No,
it's all bad direction. I think YG has been slowly dying for a while. They won't ever, but I don't think they'll ever do more than this with their groups. Blackpink.
It's gonna be back to the big three real soon.
I mean. It is. I don't think there's a real soon there. I think it's
hard to argue that it currently exists as a big four.
I don't know if YG is still in this fight.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Blackpink saw such a major success at the turn of the century. Maybe not century.
The turn of the decade.
Blackpink was such a boon that there's nothing else for YG.
Yeah, maybe that was their death rattle. We just didn't know it.
On a positive, I think they look a little charismatic in the video at times.
Yeah. Although I think the first thing I said when I watched the videos, I was like, damn, I wish Dreamcatcher had this money. Because this is a Dreamcatcher-ass set that they're on with the eyeball and the fire and the door with the maze on it. I was like, damn, I wish Dreamcatcher had money.
I wish the groups who needed the money the most got it.
Please. Babymonster could do the thing that they're doing in a white room.
They sure could.
Dreamcatcher, they need the CG. They need the special effects. It helps.
Well, if we're on the topic of money and Big 3 and CG, let's talk about TXT, who has
2x2.
They've come back with their third mini-sode in the title track Deja Vu.
Deja Vu.
I've been pretty negative on TXT for perhaps the past
year.
At least
a year.
I have come to realize that I don't think my problem with TXT has ever been the music. I don't actually think I enjoy TXT as performers for a lot of the concepts that they do. I don't quite like their brand of stage presence.
It's a bit canned. It's more than a little bit canned.
Yeah, I don't enjoy watching them do what they do for a lot of what they do when they aren't being cute or whatever, young, youthful, etc. And so with Deja Vu, I watched the video and I didn't get very far, but I saw that they were being serious and giving real serious eyes to the camera. And I said, oh, God, another TXT song I don't like. But I always listen to the albums. Even when I don't like the single. I listened to the album. I heard that song in my ears with nothing in front of my face. And I said, this is a fucking hit for me.
Deja Vu?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a great fucking song.
It's a great fucking song.
I like it a lot. I did kind of the same thing as you, except I stuck with it. I think I enjoy TXT as performers a lot more than you do, but kind of like I said earlier, like there's no particular sort of K-poppy field where I really like what TXT does. I'm not obsessed with their vocals. I'm not obsessed with their choreo. I'm not obsessed with their stage presence. I'm not obsessed with like collecting their photo cards, like their aegyo or anything like that. But what they do sell me when they do it correctly, which I also have not really loved them for the past year, is the combination of the album or the EP, whatever, as a cohesive unit combined with visuals in the music video sell a vibe to me very well, and that's what I care about. The vibe in the music video Deja Vu, a little bit off, but not the vibes in that song, baby. That's a great song. And
that's
entering
a great song.
the elite cast of songs called Deja Vu with a pretty strong edge. Like it's at this point, that's shark infested waters, and I think it's pretty good.
Oh yeah. It's good. The fucking K-YOS in my head every day, all day since the song came out, and that's the mark of the beast.
Taeyeon singing like he's 3 times divorced all the time. I love it when you get a broken-hearted song at a Taeyeon. That's a match made in heaven.
He found his voice. Like, you know when babies are young and they realize they can scream, and so it's all they do, and someone's like, oh, don't mind the baby. He just found his voice. That's Taeyeon every time they put him in that booth now.
He learned too well how to scream. But it's so good. Yeah, I mean, just to touch on the music video a little bit. Again, this is just like, even compared to early on when TXT would do their lore stuff, it felt a lot more comprehensible, I think, especially around like a platform 9 3/4. That has a very obvious storyline going on. This is a lot more nebulous, even compared to a love song. It's just images are occurring, and you know, there's some pretty solid images. I like them. Except my big problem with this music video. Hybe has way too much money to put them in outfits this fucking cheap looking. It's obscene. The dance break outfits where they're wearing suits with cutouts that don't fit them, have never been altered, are made out of like fucking lycra. I don't even know what they're made out of. Especially one of the performance looks that's not one of the suits is Subin has on like a lycra long sleeve with waist cutouts and a cummerbund on top. And I'm like, why is he wearing Nike Dry Fit for his performance look with a cummerbund? Like, I just don't think it looks good. But the real offenders are the suits with the lace put on, because the
Yes.
lace looks cheap. The suits look cheap. The lace isn't sewn down, so it flaps around and it makes it look even cheaper. Ooh, it's really bad. It bothered me so much throughout the video, because I think the rest of it is like mostly pretty well done. The part where Huning's like running through the maze, I think, is cool. I love running in a field and looking depressed and sad. The black and white moments are like fun, like when Huning's leaning over like the side of a boat or something in the weird multicolor water. Like that stuff is all fun.
Yeah.
Oh, but those looks fucking killed it for me.
Yeah, I think they're very ugly.
Yeah, the only other thing, I don't like these hair colors on Huning and Subin very much. I think putting Subin in a light hair color, other than like a pink or a blue, if it really matches the concept, I think it takes him from like extremely handsome leader, kind of aloof, cute man, into just like just some guy.
Yeah, just some guy. And like it's I think his hair is blonde, but not quite, right?
It's like ashy blonde.
It's an ashy blonde. A big problem is that when we are dyeing and bleaching hair, we do not consider the skin tones and undertones of the person that bleached hair is going to be on.
Yes.
He looks like just some guy, but he also looks like some guy who has a vitamin deficiency somewhere.
Yeah, for me, that's actually also the problem with Huning's hair, is that I just don't think a jewel tone hair color, clothes is fine, I don't think a jewel tone hair color suits him or his skin tone very well. And I think the blue washes him out in a very particular and weird way, because it's not a hair color that makes him look like ethereal, kind of weird. It's not that makes him look like washed out and princely. It just looks like it's the wrong color. It's faded a bit at this point, I think, and it looks much better. But yeah, that really strong kind of tourmaline, no, not tourmaline, tourmaline's yellow, like turquoisey, tealy blue. It's not the look. So styling was a touch weird.
Yeah, I think TXT styling, it's real hit or miss, especially when it comes to the fit of their clothes. It's a little bit of what I kind of expect.
Yeah, that is true for sure. The clothes are consistently not where I look. I feel like usually their hair and makeup is pretty good though, but it wasn't the tea this time around for me.
Yeah, I agree. Speeding right along. EPEX had another comeback with Youth to Youth. I couldn't remember if it was To Youth or if it was Youth to Youth.
I think in Korean it's called To Youth, and then in English they called it Youth to Youth.
There it is. Okay, this is from their Youth Chapter 1 Youth Days album.
Jesus.
Do you think they may be youthful?
The concept clear enough?
You know, it's, at the very least, it's better than their debut, I don't know if you would call it concept, but like their debut album naming conventions were, I think there was EPEX who had like the Chapter 1 Bipolar, Chapter 2 Anxiety.
They also had Full Metal Jacket.
They had Full Metal Jacket. That was, oh yes, Bipolar Part 1, Prelude to Anxiety. So they've been through it, so fine. Youth to Youth, Chapter Youth, Version Youthful, fine. The song.
It's just a nice single.
It's a nice single. I really like it.
Yeah, it's one of those songs where like I feel like we've talked about EPEX like once or twice, but not necessarily as a subject. Like I don't think we said, oh, they have a single out in Bippity Boppity Boo. I think we just randomly ended up talking about them.
Yeah,
and that's because generally,
I think they were in my top 25 last year.
Oh, that might be so.
So it's been brief mentions.
Because I generally don't like their music, but this is a pretty nice song. This is like a strong change in direction. They usually make more like hard, like bad boy, angsty boy music, and this is, as the name implies. I mean, the chorus is like, you can start your life, you can start your life. It's like a uplifting. It's like the inverse of like BTS, where they start off making hard rap music and then they moved into like the Save Me Run chapter of angsty teen music. EPEX has had like the double sort of inverse, where they started out making hard angsty music, and this is like a corny teenage uplifting song. And it has a good sound.
It has a good sound. It's a little bubbly. It's a little outdated. It's strangely theatric at some parts of it.
The pre-chorus, which is a bit strange.
It's a bit strange, but I do love it. I think it's one of my favorite things. But beyond that, on it. Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that. This song has multiple parts of just lower that music. Let's just chant and sing.
Baby.
And that is one of the best things you can do in a song. It's High School Musical. We're just all in this room yelling. We're all just in this room singing in it together. I love this song. I tend to like when EPEX does their more like fun, bubbly music, though. I think they do it very well. And the inverse of that, they do cool guy, hard music very poorly.
I think so too. Some more than a little bit of it is to blame on the production of what they get.
Yeah.
But they had to have stolen this song from CIX, because where did this come from?
They absolutely did steal this song from CIX. That's where all their good music comes from.
Please, can't CIX have a crumb? Anything? They're gonna have to go to the military soon, and they ain't making nothing. I'm sad.
No, because CX hasn't even when they do come back, they're not making nothing.
They're not making. Last was lovers or enemies with their dumb AI shit.
So
we'll talk about dumb AI shit.
You think?
Maybe.
We don't know where this episode's going to go or what we'll talk about.
Yeah, we don't have a document dedicated to it or anything.
Yeah, so maybe we will. But EPEX Youth to Youth, very powerful song.
Yeah, honestly.
Let's keep
it here.
The music video has someone turning 20 at the start of it, so truly exiting youth to enter more youth. Pivotal.
True.
Let's continue on to even more youth.
Yeah.
BoyNextDoor had another comeback with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I really like what BoyNextDoor does. I think most of their singles I have liked. This Earth, Wind, and Fire song, though, there's something in there.
Mm-hmm. They're perfecting how to be annoying in this particular way.
Yes,
and
they
again,
are.
I don't mean annoying in a bad way. That is just, there's no more apt adjective for what you can't listen to One and Only and be like, oh, no one could be annoyed by this. It's not an inherently annoying song, because it is. Earth, Wind, and Fire is also annoying. Yes. On purpose, and it's catchy and good.
It's catchy. It's a busy song. There are maybe like a couple of singers in BoyNextDoor who have such a particular way of singing that is fun, but can also drone on, depending on just how you feel about it. I like it. This song, they sound so weird. Kooky. It's a kooky song.
It's a kooky song.
I think the music
crazy. I love her.
Look at my girlfriend. She's so crazy. The music video for it is very strange. It's completely nonsensical. The CGI in it and the green screening is not very good, but I think that adds to the charm.
So, sometimes there's a couple points where I'm like, ooh, I really wish the green screen was good here, because I like the sets that they're on a lot.
That's the charm.
I like the claymation stuff, but I wish it was a mix of it. Like, I wish there were sometimes where it was perfect and other times where it looks like ass. But it mostly just looks like ass.
It mostly just looks like ass.
You know.
It sure does. But yeah, I like this. They're little like, that's the really like sped up part that they do, I think is so fun. And
that's
I think
really
it's very
fun.
I think it's so fucking admirable that they said, we're going to perform this part live.
Yes. They didn't say that. Zico was on the sidelines like a father at a Little League baseball game. And he was like, you guys are going to do this part live. I didn't raise you for nothing.
Block B started off as a like kind of, you know, a hard hip hop group, but then they pivoted into K-pop's like approximation of camp. And I think you can be mad at Zico for having dreads and saying the N-word in his past, you know? I think you can hold that against him. But my God, if the creative direction of this group does not work.
He's trying to win back that goodwill. And I can't say he's doing a bad job.
He's not doing a bad job. Let me say. So, another good song. It's high energy. I think the choreography for it is good, and I really like watching them perform this on stage because of the choreography, and also just, I don't know. I think I like baby music, and so I like when a group gets on stage and is just having fun, looking cute. I think that may be something I enjoy in K-pop.
It's true. The pink gradient overalls are good. With someone's in like a they them shirt, which is funny.
Yes. It's called allyship.
It's called allyship.
Find a full thread. K-pop's strongest allies. You don't have a BoyNextDoor on there.
Just for the they them shirt.
Just for the they them shirt, out of context. But oh yeah, I don't have much to say about it, just because, unfortunately, sometimes when things are good, there's not much you can say. It's just good.
Yeah, they made obnoxious baby music and they did it very well, and they put on some good stage performances, and we're happy about that.
And we're happy about it.
Trending upwards.
Trending upwards. Oh, and I think continuing. You know what?
I just think it's better than the last thing. I didn't think that Y was bad, but I think How is better.
I agree.
Line go up.
Which is what you would want in a group that's just debuted.
You'd either want to go up or stay exactly flat.
In a group that has existed for less than a year, you want to see at the very least a slight upward trend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about it's this band actually?
Oh, I don't listen to bands. I listen to K-pop, and bands aren't K-pop, so.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know if this next band will really fit the bill for the podcast, but Onewe is back from the military. And we have been graced with music.
Finally.
We have been graced with music because, can I say, their final song as an entire group, I thought it belongs in the bin. For you Americans, that means the trash. Was it not Gravity?
Oh, yes, you're right. Because they recorded that before Yanghoon and Kanghyun had left, and then released it while they were gone. Because that was the English single. Didn't like it.
Yeah, didn't like that song at all. But you want to know what's beautiful about a group that is talented? They can put out a bad song, and you're still excited for their next comeback.
Excited, but so nervous. For the uninitiated, Onewe's two oldest members, Yanghoon and Kanghyun, both left for the military. The other three did not go anywhere. So I was like getting really nervous that like there would be a staggered thing going on, you know, and that we just were not going to get Onewe for such a long time. But no, the millisecond I saw that photo of Yanghoon and Kanghyun back, bald, with the full group being welcomed back,
cheers.
I sent it straight to Danny, and I was like, music is real again. I can't believe music's allowed to exist again. Which, to be fair, to be clear, unfair expectations to put on a group, like, especially since he's just come back, or since they both just come back. Although part of the blame is on Kia, because he made two very good albums while they were gone. So,
yes,
you know, expectations were pretty high.
Pretty high. The song is Beautiful Ashes.
Yeah, Beautiful Ashes off of Planet 9 Isotropy, I believe is what the album is called. Third in the Planet 9 series.
Yes. I don't know if there's anything I can say about Onewe that either of us haven't said. This song is amazing.
It's a great song.
It's such a beautiful song. Oh my God. We won. This song
feels
is
so good to win a little bit.
Gorgeous, melodic.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will say is that Dongmyoung is the other vocalist in Onewe, but he tends to take on some of the more higher pitched but not quite high note parts. He's there. He sounds pretty. He has a very pretty voice. Mm-hmm. And so he gets very pretty lines. However, I will give him this. Towards the end of the song, he has a high note that is so rich and full of body compared to what he normally does. I'll admit. Every time I hear the song, I do have to go back and listen to him do that part at least 5 times before I can finish the song.
It's great because, for people who don't know Onewe, there's 5 members. Yonghoon is the lead vocalist, and in this comeback he plays the guitar. He didn't usually play the guitar while he sang before. Dongmyoung is their keyboardist / pianist who also sings, and he would usually take the secondary vocal part. And he's always done a fine job singing. He usually just carries a nice pretty melody, especially when the guitars and the drums kind of get stripped back, and he will have basically a solo with just bass and piano. And did he decide, okay, Yonghoon's gone, he probably can't practice singing a lot, and he just went through his training arc? He went in the hyperbolic time chamber while he was gone to train, because the vocals are a huge step up. And he was already a good singer. Now he's a great singer. And I guess, has he just been training really hard the whole time? Or I don't even know what. Because, he's even got an upgrade on the emotions, I think. Which before I would say was his strong suit. And it's just gotten better. So what's going on in here? My beautiful man.
Maybe just the break. The break did something good. The whole group is back. We said, let's all do our best. They said, guys, truly. Let's do our best.
And one thing about the hiatus and doing your best on this whole EP, because right now we're still only talking about the title track, but it's a good EP. Kanghyun, the lead guitarist, came back with a fucking vengeance.
Yes.
He's done his little shreds before and stuff. He's had nice moments of the nice kind of twinkly fingering moments where it's just a it has a cool noise to it. But it's every single song now, Kanghyun will just have a part. Sometimes it's in the foreground, sometimes in the background, but it's always really noticeable and really technically impressive, which was not always the case. Sometimes you could be forgiven for forgetting that Kanghyun is a permanent main member of the group, and he's a really skilled guitarist who's there all the time. But he made his presence known on this EP.
Yeah. It's a really good MP. I mean, at this point, we're just saying everybody did a very good job. But it's the drummer of the group, Haden,
he came back looking sexier than ever. They said, Haden, why have we kept you behind the drums the whole time? Because Haden, in any other K-pop group, he would be chosen as a rapper because he has that almost stereotypically sexy masculine look. Mm-hmm. And so in this MV, they're Haden, we need more shots of you looking cool and sad and angsty.
Yeah, he's all bloodied and sad looking. Everybody's really acting their ass off for the Beautiful Ashes music video. Which you don't often see
an actor, which we knew from scratch that Kia could act, but damn. He put it on for this.
It's really good. The EP itself, I think, is good, like Lotus said.
Mm-hmm. Shoot It Out, really good song. That could have been the title, frankly. They had 2 good options.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I could end the episode right here.
The only criticism I have is that a couple of the B-sides kind of blend together. It's not the most oh, let me listen to this song, and oh, I remember this moment of that song. There's a couple where it just seems like one long song, and that's the worst thing that I can say.
Yeah, I'd say it's only 6 songs. I'd say after Meteor Shower, which is the 3rd song, it really starts to blend.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
Especially, there's also a song on here called Kiss in the Rain, which sounds extremely similar to The Rose's She's in the Rain, which is somewhat inevitable because of the She's in the Rain, Kiss in the Rain just are very similar sounding phrases. They make up the chorus. But it made me like it less, that's for sure.
I guess which came first, she or the kiss?
Wow, deep thoughts.
Think on that for a little bit, and then get back to us in the comments.
I love when you talk about the comments that don't exist. Oh wait, no, there are technically comments on YouTube, I think. I don't even know if anybody watches this on YouTube, though, I'll be honest. Leave a comment down below if you're listening on YouTube. If
you're listening on YouTube, leave a comment below. I don't know where we'd find those comments because I did not realize this was on YouTube. But if you're listening right now on YouTube,
well, because YouTube has podcasts, and because of the way RSS feeds work, the podcast automatically uploads to YouTube also.
Okay,
so it does go on to video too. So like, there's the podcast which you could listen to on your phone, but they're technically on YouTube proper. So there is a comment section.
Okay, leave that comment down below, and we'll respond to the top comment.
All one of them.
That's how you get engagement, okay?
What are your thoughts on this? Thoughts? Put your thoughts down below.
What do you guys think about bands being included in the discussion of K-pop?
What do you guys think about women?
Do you guys believe that women should be allowed careers?
Should women be allowed to sing? What are your thoughts on this?
Let us know.
Anyways.
Moving on to the conundrum that is SM Promotions timing and scheduling.
Oh my god. We come up and you just bring us right back down. We were on an upward. Oh, because we were sad that, ooh, TXT, Deja Vu. Ooh, EPEX. Ooh, BoyNextDoor. Ooh, Onewe. And here we go. Oh, wait. One addendum to Deja Vu. That ain't no fucking album. One of the songs is a remix, and one of the songs is 30 seconds of a Morse code saying tomorrow. Fuck you. This is a single album at best.
They were playing with that one.
And I'm not into the B-sides. I got completely distracted and forgot to say that earlier.
That's right.
That's the end of my speech. TXT.
Okay, my version. I do like the one B-side, I'll See You There Tomorrow, but that's just because I like really shitty music that plays in a teenage department store.
I don't want to invoke the specter of like the Drake-Kendrick beef at all, but I do want to invoke the specter of whoever it was that said that Drake's music is compatible with shopping.
Yeah.
Because that's that song.
That's that song. So if, sometimes I like to just, I've got teenage sisters. Sometimes I'm forced to go to the mall. I'll just stand in that Forever 21. I'll listen to the music.
Okay.
And so I'll See You There Tomorrow. That's that song.
Okay,
but let's
back to SM. Sorry about that detour. We had to make sure we covered things thoroughly.
Back to SM. Riize has come back with a prologue single, and then 3 B-sides. Yeah, sure, 3 B-sides. The issue that I mentioned before is that these are all pre-release singles that have been released as an EP that has the same title as the full album that is coming in 2 months.
Yes.
Do you kind of see where a little bit of that confusion comes from?
Yeah, especially because thus far every song has some kind of visual element, an MV, a full, like, a special dance choreo version, something.
Yes. Also, on this album, Rising, or EP, I guess, there's also a re-release of a song that already exists that I was told is supposed to be the full version of... It's Siren. Apparently, Siren never got a full version at their debut, so this is the full version, which is confusing because the song is still only like 2.5 minutes long.
Without Sunghan on it is maybe the big difference.
Maybe... Is he not on there?
No, he's not.
Okay. Well, then, hey, cool. Sserafim did it and made an album out of it. Why not?
True.
But the single off of this album is Impossible.
Impossible.
I think it's a hit. Like, we're still on the up and up, I think, with how the music this month went. The music that we're discussing, at least.
Yeah, it's just the activity of the release pisses me off. Riize as a group has a lot of problems that are infuriating.
I guess the biggest one is probably the music, huh?
being under SM, number 1. Number 2, release schedule. Number 3, getting rid of Sunghan because he had bitches. Number 4, any level of cohesion. Number 5, what the fuck is the concept? Number 6, that goddamn light stick. I'll kill you. What is it? What is that?
SM.
It looks like the pirate ship ride at a shitty carnival.
SM is redesigning a few light sticks. Did you see what they did to the NCT light stick? All of like the NCT groups now have their own light stick, and they all just kind of look like the Neobong, but still somehow plainer. And Wavy no longer has their little leak light stick.
Can't have shit in Detroit.
You can't have shit in Detroit. But fucking robot racism.
Not the Detroit Become Human reference. Robot racism and Mr. Krabs. But he might kill himself, so look out. Oh, what number were you on? 6, 7? I was on number 6 was the light stick.
Okay, number 7, the hats that hide the fucked up haircuts that they had at the start. But Impossible as a song? Great, amazing summer dance hit.
Yeah, this is another one of those songs where like overall the song doesn't sound like a particular different song, but there's one part of it like basically the main section of the chorus sounds so much like another song. Can't think of what it is. I was trying so hard all month to try to figure out what it was for the podcast, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I know like comparisons have been made to Shiny's View, but the songs sure. The songs and vibes are similar, but in sound they actually are not very similar. Yeah. So it's not. I know it's not that. You'll have to find it. Take another month.
It's probably some random pop song I listen to all the time on my iPod Nano in 2011 is probably what it is.
Yep.
And I just can't remember what it is.
I think that's very likely, especially with the sound of this. It's a good song. It's a fun song. The choreography in it is
good. I love a high kick.
It's nothing but high kicks and jumps and shuffles. It's aerobics. And I know this dance is difficult. I know they probably struggle to pick it up, but they make it look so effortless and floaty.
Yeah.
And
walking on air to where like you see other people do it and it's just like, why are they dancing so fast, so hard? That's not the dance. It is the dance. It is the dance. Riize has just managed to look so lanky and weightless when they do it that it's a little hard to compare. Just Dance. I miss Just Dance.
What's the Just Sweat version of this?
What's a real hip hop dance experience for the Xbox Connect version of this?
I do it.
I would do it in a heart. Do you know how much better my cardiovascular health would be if they had continued to release Just Dance for the Wii? If they had a K-pop only, big 3 companies, every major choreo for the Nintendo Wii in my house?
Yep.
I could walk a marathon. Not run, but I could walk one.
Understand this. This is a podcast of Just Dance lovers.
Are we not women?
Are we not women?
There's some stereotypes that are okay, and it's that all women love Just Dance.
This song is good. Actually, this does something a little similar to Deja Vu by TXT. Towards the end of the song, it slows down and you think that the song is going to stop. It feels like the end of the song. In Deja Vu, the song kind of stops and then it goes into a high note. In this, the song stops and then goes into a dance break, because this is still an SM group. However, in a rare turn of events, the dance break simply continues the song. It is not a fully different song. It's not just a
shitty thing put on the music video at Favorite Vampire by NCT 127. God, I hate that dance break.
There's no bullshit, quote-unquote, anti-drop to be found. The song just continues.
Designed with a dance break in mind, because that's a dancing group.
It's a dancing group. You know what? One of the problems, what is the concept? Maybe the concept will just be that they dance.
Yeah, I mean, if the concept is just that they could dance really well and they're called Riize, then I hope that they just increasingly escalate until they're doing like wrestling air work. What is it called? High flying? Whatever it's called in wrestling. I hope they just start doing that at some point.
Yep.
They're rising higher and higher until someone is doing backflips off of the top rope. Let's
get back to stunts in K-pop.
Yeah, let's start make Minghao do backflips again. Maybe we can like play chicken. Riize can play chicken with 17 until everyone's doing stunts again.
17, they're getting up there in age. I don't know how many more years 17 has to be athletic.
Minghao's still spinning on his head. I firmly believe Minghao will be one of those people who's like the old like Chinese aunties and uncles that you see as a joke in the park who are still like doing just insane shit.
Just irritating, but you're like, no, but there's talent there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do you want to talk about the other songs that Riize released along with Impossible?
We can a bit. I don't like any of them as much as Impossible by any means.
No, not even close, I'd say.
Yeah, 9 Days is really close, but the first chorus, despite being a chant, which we both enjoy, I think is kind of just hard to listen to. I think it sounds a little too discordant for me until you get to like the second and then the third. Like it progressively gets better, but the first one is hard to listen to, I think.
Yeah, 9 Days sounds... It sounds like a song that should be in like a Trolls or a Chipmunks movie.
I was thinking it does sound like an original like NSYNC song, but kind of in a bad way.
Yeah. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like, honestly, it's a little vibey song. And then One Kiss is the other song. I don't think that one's good at all.
Yeah.
Overall, I have no clue what Riize is supposed to do.
Like their visuals and their styling is really quite consistent.
Yes.
Like arguably no one has committed to Y2K as hard as they have. Get a Guitar and Talk Saxy sound wise, no, but visually and dance wise, yes. That carried through, and they ditched the sound once again. Thank God. But other than that, indiscernible. Is it just being hot twinks who can dance? Because that's fine.
That may be it. Because
like
Siren, Siren isn't. I don't know what Siren is. Love 119 as much as I like it. I don't know where that fits. And like, a Y2K twink, like, is that their concept or is that just the trend at the moment? Because yes,
right,
it is.
They could dish it at any second, and I would believe that would happen. They haven't done quite enough to make me believe that it is the concept, especially with like the albums and stuff. I don't really get that. Like, I don't think it's going to be something that they go for.
Yeah, I don't think it is. So we'll see. Oddly enough, I do believe that the album that is coming out in June is listed as a full album. Which, well, I'm sure it is going to be a full album if they've already put out
5 songs. And then there's still 3 songs that they haven't. They have. I don't believe have had an official EP or album.
No,
release.
So actually, I can't believe it'll be an album.
I think they're doing the New Jeans release strategy, where you release what appear to be completely unrelated singles for 2 years straight, so people will buy the single albums and then you put them on an album.
Yep, and then you put on an album and you realize you've just kind of purchased a compilation pack.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it'll tell us who is Riize. Real Riize. I wasn't going to do it.
You started to do it.
But then I stopped. I wasn't going to do it. Also, I love how their vlogs, I do believe, are called Realize.
Which is good. Which is good.
I like it. Hey, Lotus.
Hey.
I have so much fun recording this podcast with you.
Uh-huh. I do too. I love it.
All right. Now that we've had our affirmations.
Before we start scrapping.
We'll see. because we don't talk about a lot of the music that comes out.
We try to avoid it, so we do it on the podcast, yeah.
Right. I don't 17 had their comeback. 17 has put out a compilation album. 17 right here. 17 is right here.
17 is right here. Full correct sentence.
Excuse me, they said we're right fucking here. It has all of their singles on it, including the Japanese ones.
In Korean, but yeah.
In Korean, okay. So
I'm still one of those people where like they sound weird in Korean to me because I heard they were clearly made in Japanese. So yeah,
one of those people. That should be everybody.
Fair.
But despite this being a compilation album, they did have a group single, and then each unit also got their songs. So you got 4 new songs on it. And that single is Maestro. How did you feel about it in 3, 2, 1? I hated it.
Yay! I got kind of scared.
I said, there's no way that we're going to feel differently, but wildcards exist.
And we are both historically wildcards. No, this song is fucking ass.
This song is fucking terrible.
This is like, I was hard on, what is Sonogon called again? Super. I was hard on Super, but it's not because I don't like the song. I just don't think it's worthy of being a title. This song is just bad.
This song is not worthy of being a song.
And the thing is, like, I had thought of this in the back of my mind, couldn't formulate it into a thought because I was too focused on how bad the song is and all the other stuff, which we'll get into. But after Azalea pointed out, I can't stop thinking about it, and it's so sad. The bridge is so good. The Echera Rondo, the DK and Sungkwan do.
It's DK and Sungkwan's parts.
I mean, it's true. To quote someone I saw on TikTok, there's not a bridge that DK and Sungkwan can't cross. Mm-hmm. So true, bestie. Like, they are such good vocalists, but they could feasibly be given something bad that you can't save because of how it is. But it's one of the better bridges that, like, I've heard, especially recently. And it's in this fucking awful song. It's a beautiful bridge directly into, like, one of the worst choruses I've heard this year. This sounds like one of Treasure's worst songs.
Yeah,
this is the worst. I think this is the worst single that 17 has ever put out.
It is, without a doubt.
I can't think of anything worse. It might be their worst song.
It's their worst song, period. The production on it feels...
There's some early stuff that I could believe is worse. But, like, off the top of my head, I think it might be their worst song.
I think this is their worst song. Because even, like, if there is a worse song, you can chalk it up to them being 18, making their own music.
That is true. There really is no excuse for this.
There's none. The beats on this and the production sound so cheap, which is crazy.
It sounds like it was made with Baby's first drum machine. I can't believe it.
It's just the free GarageBand pack that you get when you buy a MacBook. I think the
pacing... even some great songs have been made on that. That's what's...
They sure have.
It's just bad.
The pacing of almost every rap in this is bad. I do not like any... Outside of Sungkwan and DK's parts, I don't like the way that anybody sings on top of the beat.
One thing we should point out about the raps, because I was so curious, I looked this up, because I was like, the raps are... really quite short. Most of them don't last more than 4 bars, which is normal for K-pop, but not as much for 17. There is not a rapper who has a credit on Maestro, which, granted, not every 17 single has credits for the rappers, but most of them do have credits for at least Vernon and S-Coups, if not also sometimes Mingyu or Wanu will have a credit. No writing credits for the rappers.
Well, let me say something. That may be controversial. Mingyu and Wanu are in the rap unit. I do not think they are exceptionally talented rappers. When it comes to flow and
they do
shit.
their job. I think we've said this before.
Yeah,
they show up and they do their job.
I think Wanu has gotten better. His part in this is almost good, where the beat gets really like techno and fast. His part is almost good. But again, the flow is strange and he doesn't go hard enough. DK and Sungkwan's parts we talked about, very good. Although there is a high note that DK has towards the end of the song that's underneath Hoshi's part, I believe. I don't think the high note is fine because DK can sing. I think its placement, horrendous. Most people in this song I don't think did anything, which is a strange thing for 17 because despite having 13 members, usually everybody gets a pretty decent part, or at least a part where they can like show something.
Yeah, it's one of those K-pop songs where the chorus is so nothing and it's so long that it just absorbs. It's a black hole that absorbs everyone's parts. Like technically Mingyu's part is the chorus, but it's just la 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 la. So like it doesn't even matter. His part gets reduced to the little rap that he has like in the beginning and then 2 lines in the middle.
Yeah.
Jonghan effectively doesn't have a part because he got another shitty mid-chorus rap.
Yeah. Jonghan, and I think who else gets that part? A few people get that same part. It's not good anytime. Mm-hmm. The 8 has a cool part.
Yeah, the 8 has his kind of classic thing that the 8 gets, which is like he has no lines and then he has one like it's not quite the killing part, but it's like a baby killing part, you know?
Yeah.
The 8 often gets this kind of part in a song, and it's a nice the 8 part. It's fun. I think it sounds kind of annoying, but I think I would like it in a different song. I think I was already annoyed by the la 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 la's and the goodbye. Blah,
at that
blah,
point, the song is already,
at that point,
it's
I'm
already ruined. But like, despite saying all this good parts of the song, and this is a decently length song. There's like 30 seconds of a song in here, I think.
Yeah, I would generally agree with that.
Can I say my biggest issue with it?
Of course you can.
Just the song, not the music video, okay?
Oh, okay.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
There's a dance break in this song. And I know that it's supposed to be impressive because it's very fancy, quick footwork. I think one person doing it is already a little irritating. Is it 5 or 6? I think it may be 6 of them doing it looks still irritating, but also sloppy. It is the goofiest little thing I have ever seen 17 do, and 17's choreography, when you really look at it, is often goofy.
Yeah, it's a lot about the synchronization.
Yes, oh baby, I every time I see it, every time I see another person doing it as a TikTok challenge, I want to scream. I don't. This song and choreography had the potential to turn me into an anti. The music video would have been the nail in the coffin.
Girl, it's like we're such carrots. You and I both independently, even before we knew each other, we've been carrots for like quite some time. We have seen 17 in person together, and all the videos I took are ruined, not just because my phone got wiped, but because I was screaming and singing in every single one of them. And then you could also hear you and Azalea next to me also singing and screaming. But ooh, this got me really close to being an anti, and we haven't even gotten into arguably the most annoying part, depending on how much you hate the song. Because I do hate the song a lot.
Yeah, I hate the song a lot. If I didn't, this music video, again, so to start, 17 was releasing their trailers, teasers for this. And the vibes were immediately
rancid
and rotten. The whole thing, and hey, that AI we mentioned earlier, it's here. So the concept is that AI can't replace real musicians, basically. 17, God bless their many souls. They are a corny group at their core. 17 loves to talk their shit, and when they do, it's a bunch of men talking their shit. You don't care about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a carrot, so I say, yeah, I love my team, I love my crew too. This one is just stupid. I think any conversation surrounding AI is going to it's not going to hit. And I have to assume the music video. Well, I don't know if the music video uses AI, but in the teasers the teasers they released, they say AI is used in this video, and like inside the video, AI works to show that like, oh, it's a little weird, it's a little strange, it's not real. Like 17 is real. Okay, but you're still using AI. First thing. problem number one, you can start there. Problem number two, the whole real musician, we're real musicians, AI can't replace it. Shut the fuck up. Ugh, I don't care. It's AI. I don't care. That's corny. You can't see my face, but if you were to Google, what does ick mean, you would see my face.
Stock images, girl getting the ick.
Girl getting the ick. That was before the music video even came out. I said, oh, even if this song is good, this shit is going to be horrible. You get into the music video. Are we post-apocalyptic in the future? Can we say that that's the situation?
It's got shades of cyberpunk. I would say cyberpunk, yeah, dystopian.
Yeah. That's it. 17 is in the music video. It's iRobot meets those little dogs that you could get that had like a little colored, like clear panel on the front.
Oh, the cyber dog thingy?
Yeah, I think they were also called something, but it wasn't an dog.
It was like wolf or something.
Right. It's a mixture of that. It's a lot of CG.
I mean, the cute Y2K dog is such a nice comparison because they do look exactly like the Boston Dynamics cop robots, which are being developed by the United States.
They look exactly the same.
I'm sorry, in conjunction with the United States. Technically, it's not the United States government, but they are going to soon be deployed as fucking surveillance drones, and they're testing the ability to put machine guns on them. So
yes, and so if you wanted to be delusional out of yourself, you could say that, oh, it's 17, it's commentary, 17's doing commentary. No, I don't think they are.
They're attempting to dress it up as commentary.
They're attempting to dress it up as commentary, but it falls flat because nothing is being said in this video, truly. It's a bunch of like bootleg versions of shit that we've already seen and that has existed for a while for the sake of, in this crazy world with AI, like, listen to me, follow me, look at what we're doing, we're the true artists. Hey guys, I think this music video is dog shit.
Mm-hmm. Just one thing has to come first, which is that the CGI looks like shit.
Shit.
Which is typical of a K-pop music video that is pretty consistent. However, I do want to point out that a group with an astronomically smaller amount of money than 17, called ONF, did this exact concept, I think 4 years ago before they all went off into the military. Specifically, watch the MV for 17 Maestro, and look at those cyber guys dancing with them, and then I want you to go back, take the time machine back, and watch the music video for Ugly Dance by ONF, a B-side, which is the exact same thing with virtually the exact same design on the RoboCops. And they look almost the same quality-wise from years ago with the company that got no goddamn money, a subsidiary of a subsidiary. So that's first of all. Mm-hmm. Second of all, like we said, the music video does use AI, and it is so astronomically fucking hypocritical to try to say I'm the maestro. AI can't replace humans because we're real producers. We're the self-producing idol group. AI can't replace us. And then you have AI come in and replace visual artists? What the fuck is wrong with you? It looks bad. The message is bad. The message is hypocritical. And it doesn't even come together cohesively because it's just like this weird virtue signaling, like modern man versus machine horse shit without like any level of actual critical thought behind it, because it's not something that 17 will ever have to worry about.
Yeah, I feel like the simplest thing that you can learn is that you cannot critique something while using it. That it just doesn't, it's not going to make sense in most situations, most settings. All bad.
Terrible.
Do you want to talk about the unit songs?
I think they all suck. I'm gonna be honest.
I think they suck. Okay.
And part of it is because they do have common threads with the lead single. like they sometimes what happens when 17 or any group for that matter does unit songs is the unit songs can sound very different, not just from each other but from the title, and they can make the album sound a little bit messy. These don't do that, and it's for the worst.
You think
I think that they have like a common thread. A couple of them are like kind of noisy, especially the first one that plays so I don't remember their names. I think it's called La La Lee or something.
Yeah,
like that.
rap unit songs. I think this sounds like a rap unit song, especially if you go back to their older stuff. I don't quite hear any sort of commonality between them, but regardless, I disagree with you on that point. But guess what? The songs are still bad, even coming from my vantage point.
Ugh, it's so sad.
Spell is okay.
I hate it here.
Spell is okay. Performance unit song is just a little vibey song. But what I tend to have an issue with most performance unit songs is that there's never enough song for me because it is geared towards a performance of some kind, like it's geared towards dancing and choreography. So oftentimes performance unit songs are okay, but it's like I need more song. I think the same here. It's fine. It sounds like a couple of other songs that exist already. It's that type of thing. All around. Miss. A swing and a miss.
Hard swing, hard miss. Strike out, other terms from sports.
Not a home run.
Oh, yeah, they already did that.
And even just to add insult to injury, as the 17 collector, both of albums and photo cards, I can't get nothing from this. There are neither photo cards nor albums that I want from this. Not strongly. There's nothing here.
It's nothing. Well, it's not nothing. It's bad.
It's a lot of bad somethings.
Just clutching one wee to my chest. At least I had one win this month. Because this is a hard loss. You could consistently, we've been able to count on 17 to at least do something good. But whoa.
All I can say is they've been touring a lot. I believe they're going to tour again outside of Asia at the end of this year, and there's another comeback apparently coming. They've got to prepare for the military soon. It's just a chaotic time over in Carrotland.
True.
And so we had to get a bad album as a result of it. I'm saying it here. I'm saying it now. If this happens again,
it's curtains.
It's curtains. 17 is over. One strike after 7 years is all it took.
Okay, maybe a little harsh.
Because, well, you have you didn't really like Super as a single. I loved it. But this one was so bad. 17 may be canceled. We'll see. We'll see, and that's a threat.
We'll replace you if we have to. We'll find somebody.
Somebody will come along. Let's wrap this up on, I don't know if this is a high note or a low note, frankly. Because I didn't expect to see I've highlighted on our document. But I've came back. I've switched. What?
I don't fucking know. When it was I thought that was funny. I don't know what this one means.
And they've had I've mine, which I guess that doesn't really make sense either. But
I've mined.
I've mine. They came back with Heya. Do you have something to say, Lotus?
I mean, we never really talk about IVE, because generally we have no opinions on their music or performances. They just do fine, don't particularly appeal or not appeal to us, I think. We just don't have a lot to say. But I really quite like this song. Don't like the choreography, which has been the discourse about it. Going back again to what we said earlier, the girls in IVE cannot dance, and that is fine. Not only can they not dance, it's hard to dance while you sing. Just blanket statement. It's really hard to dance while you sing. And they can't dance. However, that's not an excuse for the choreography to look bad. And you can't just excuse it as, but they have more of an elegant style. Elegant doesn't just mean slow and bad looking. and serving face. Like, that's not what that means. I'm so sorry. It's just bad choreo.
It's bad choreography that looks like it was meant to be filmed from the chest up only. At best.
Yes. And even then, just a lot of moves are awkward and strange. There's a lot of moments where multiple girls are standing around doing nothing. Like, the worst thing I can say about the choreo, which is unfortunately quite true, is it looks like some of aespa's worst choreos.
Yes, it does.
Also done with more than 4 people, which makes it look even worse.
Yep.
But I actually like the song. I think it's catchy and fun. You know, I've fans love to use the phrase like I've makes music for pretty girls, and I sometimes have conflicting feelings. Like stuff like Love Dive and I think is just not that. Like, they're pretty, but that doesn't mean that they're like pretty girl songs. But Hey Ya's up there. The chorus is slightly awkward. The first time I heard it, I don't think I liked it, but I liked the verses enough that I went back and I was like, no, I like it now. So whatever that means. The rest of the album is whatever, but I'm still into the lead single. I think it's good.
Yeah, I'm a little mid on this song. I really don't like the chorus. I do really like a part in this song though where it doesn't quite slow down, but it changes up a little bit. I think it's a part where it's Liz has a part at the end. And then it goes into Eugen, and then it goes into Ray, who has a rap, which isn't good. But those two parts, it's like a little 30-second bridge, I think it's pretty interesting.
Okay.
But overall, the song, I think, has a little too much spoken rap in it for me.
I can't argue with that. There is quite a fair amount of it. I think the parts of it that kind of lead into the choruses work really well for me. I think the verses sound kind of strange and dissonant, but in a good way, which is why I end up liking it. This is probably the IVE song I like the most so far. I liked Love Dive a lot, but it just never quite gelled together in the form of one continuous song for me, whereas Hey Ya does.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have much to say on it. I don't think I listened to the album, actually.
I did. It's one of those albums that I forgot that I was listening to, frankly. Whatever.
I think that tends to happen with IVE. Although I did really like IVE Mine, excuse me.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I like
just
that
in general
in
in K-pop, like we always say, the title track is all that matters. It's what you promote. So a lot of times the B-sides are just like some amount of wish fulfillment for fans, or just about being inoffensive, or shit that was left on the cutting room floor for other artists that they scooped up. And this album is very that.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, then we ended the month on a fine note.
Yeah, a fine solid note.
And like overall, I think this was a good month.
I would agree. I mean, Onewe this month could have been we could have had 10 maestros, and because Onewe came back and it was good, I'd be like, great month in K-pop, you guys.
When Beautiful Ashes came out, I have insomnia, but like it only really ever acts up like, let's say 2 weeks out of the month.
Okay. That's half of the month, just for the record.
It is, but it's not that bad.
It's just funny they said it only acts up, half of the time. It only acts up for 2 weeks straight out of every month.
Anyway, Beautiful Ashes came out during one of those periods where I was just casually awake until 5, 6 a.m. Just me sitting in bed, having nothing to do because I'm tired but can't sleep, AirPods in, volume up to where that my iPhone is saying, "Are you sure you should have your music this loud?" Just on repeat, Beautiful Ashes. But
you take the ones where you can find them.
You have to. You have to in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's April for you.
That's April.
It's this I wouldn't say is the high period of K-pop. We haven't quite picked up yet. June, I think, end of May leading into June, we may have
summer
something.
Through fall is when things start to really pick up.
Mm-hmm. So, that being said, this has been a longer episode than usual, shockingly enough.
for the last few months, because we had nothing to talk about.
We've had nothing, but that's K-YOS. If you want to keep up with us as our group, as a collective, we do have a Patreon. Pressed.
Did you? Okay, your Discord didn't cut out. You forgot what it was called.
Because I was going to say pressed pages, and I was going to say pedal pages.
Azalea, leave that in. So you can find us at patreon.com/pressedpedals if you would like to support us and get access to some extra stuff, access to early episodes when we do our special episodes.
Yeah.
And hopefully some little Let's Plays and stuff going on pretty soon. We'll see.
Yeah, things are always in the works, and they take a while to come to fruition. That's content creation, baby.
Content creation when it's not your job and you have other stuff you have to do.
Thanks for hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. No. We'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.